Welcome back to our channel. Good day to everyone. In today's video, we're going to review practical and practice questions related to social work. Ito yung mga topics kung saan palaging lumalabas sa board examination. And if you're preparing for the exams and just want to understand theories better, this video will surely help you because we won't just give you the correct answer. We will explain bakit sila yung tamang sagot and bakit itong mga option na to ay mali. But for the meantime, before we start, I would like to give you an energizer. Sana marami tayong makitang responses from our chat box, and I invite all of you to participate, no, para mas maging masaya tayo today. Ayan. So our energizer is entitled Who Am I? SW Edition. So ano ba yung mechanics itong energizer natin? Ayan. For our instructions, makinig sa clue at hulaan kung sino ang tinutukoy. May 5 seconds ka lang to answer. And bilisan. Very demanding tong instructions natin, no? Very authoritative siya. But yeah, I invite all of you, no, na sumagot sa ating energizer for today. Yan. Ready na ba kayo, guys? Gina ba? Yan. Gina? I guess so. Sige, let's start. No? Again, 5 seconds to answer. Please utilize our comment box kung alam niyo yung sagot. And good day and good evening to everyone again. Ayan. We have exercise dito. No? Practice pa lang ito. So, anong sagot, guys? What do you think is the correct answer for this one? We're looking for a specific person, no? Sino ito? Sige, guys, sagot tayo. Ang sumagot magtatap sa board. Sige, you can take a guess. Ang ating 26 million viewers. Ang question ay associated with the ecological systems theory. So who is this person? Sige, reveal natin since ano lang naman to, exercise pa lang naman to. Sige, sinong sagot? Yan, Yuri Bronfenbrenner. So he is associated with ecological systems theory. That is an individual's development emerges from interconnected environmental systems spanning intimate or family to societal or cultural levels. Ayan. So nakikita ko may mga nagsagot. Albert Bandura daw. Ayan. It's a good guess. But yeah, I invite all of you naman na mag-chat sa ating comment box kung alam niyo yung sagot. Or give it a wild guess, no? There's no wrong answer naman. So, ready na ba? Proceed na tayo. Ayan. For our second question, I emphasized unconditional positive regard in therapy. So, sino to? Who is this proponent? Ayan, dumadami tayo. Sige, hulaan niyo to, guys. Sabi niya, unconditional positive regard. Ayan. Kaya-kaya niya ito. Sige, ano clue natin? No, this is about humanistic theory. Yeah. So, hi. Ayan, may mga nag-raise ng hand. Sige, ano sagot? Sagot na agad. Now, use our chat box. I don't know if, baka hindi ko lang siya nakikita. Sige guys, gamitin niyo yung chat box natin. Yan, si Carl daw. Sinong Carl? So, unconditional positive regard is, sino ba? Carl Rogers. Yeah. So, he developed person-centered, also known as client-centered approach to psychotherapy and developed the concept of unconditional positive regard while pioneering the field of clinical psychological research. Yeah. So, that's Carl Rogers. Yan, very good. Yan, ang daming nakahula. Yan, si Carl. Wala kasing surname eh. Lagyan niyo naman ng surname para ma-identify natin. Sige, next. Yan. Sabi niya, I am considered a pioneer in group work and recreational therapy. So, sino to? Pioneer daw siya with group work. I guess may delay tayo, no? Konti. Kaya hindi ko nakikita yung mga responses niyo. But... Sige, at everyone. Pioneer in group work, ito kung nagbasa na tayo no, ng social work with groups, makikita natin siya. Oh, ang name niya is lagi lumalabas. Sige, wild guess. Sino siya? Share nyo na rin to like, guys, para maraming makapanood. Sige, sino ba to? Grace Coyle. So Grace Coyle was a highly influential American thinker in the area of social work with groups. She wrote important books on the subject and had great influence on the development of teaching group work concepts. So yan ay si Grace Coyle. Tandaan natin yan. Sige, next na tayo. Ito, I developed the concept of the looking glass self. How people see themselves based on others. Yan. And Miss Queenie, sige mo, manghula ka lang dyan. Sino to? This is a human behavior in social environment. Sino siya? Concept of looking glass self. Eh, so kang matakot ah. Baka yung iba dyan natatakot magsagot. No? Wala namang maling sagot. Actually, meron. Pero with this point in time, wala. Kahit anong naiisip nyo, isend nyo sa chat box. Charles Cooley? Yan. Siya nga ba? Yan, check natin. Yan. Tama ka dyan. No? It's Charles Horton Cooley. So what's the concept of looking glass self? Individuals imagine how they appear to others. They imagine yung judgment and develop a self-feeling like pride or shame based on the perceived judgment. Ayan. Sige, may mga nagsagot dito. Charles Horton Cooley. Yan, tama kayo. Very good. Yan. Sige, next na tayo. Nakukuna ko na yung mga audience. No? Ito naman. I studied stigma and social identity in everyday interactions. Who is this proponent when we talk about the stigma theory? Sige. Take a wild guess. Anyone? Yan. Sige, siguro bigyan ko kayo ng konting time, no? Although 5 seconds lang ito, guys. Huh? Ayan. Sige, hulaan nyo. Give it a guess. Grabe, ano pa lang, no? Energizer pa lang, ganito na yung mga tanong. Guys, energizer pa lang to, ha? Wala ba tayo sa exciting part? Sige, walang makakahula. Sige, si Ret na. Si Ret. Yan. Irving Goffman. So he's the proponent of the stigma theory, which is a spoiled identity, a deeply discrediting attribute that reduces a person from his whole and usual to tainted. Ayan. Sabi ni Miss Queenie, hirap. Hulaan mo lang. Paano mo mawawala, di ba? Okay, sige. Medyo mahirap to, pero let's move on. Ayan. Ito, kayang-kaya nyo to. I am known as the founder of scientific casework in social work. Sino ito, no? Sino siya? Kayang-kaya to. Kahit first year tayo, alam na natin to. Sino ba ang founder ng casework? Hmm. So ito, it goes back. 90s. So siya rin ang sumulat ng book in casework. Ah, Pag sinabi ko kasi yung, ay, sabi niya, no, Miss Telma Mendoza daw. Hindi po. Yan. Mary Richmond. Yan, Mary Rich. Yan, tignan natin kung tama kayo. Yan, tama. So, she is Mary Richmond, regarded as the mother of professional social work, along with Jane Addams. She founded social casework, the first method of social work, and was herself a caseworker. So yeah, mostly nasagot. Maliban dun sa nagsabi ng Mary Rich. Kasi kulang siya. Alright, sige, moving on. Ayan. I established Hull House and fought for social justice and reforms. So, sino ito? Sino ba nag-establish ng Hull House? Sige guys, take a wild guess. I guess may delay nga tayo. Kaya hindi ko nakikita yung responses. Di ba? Sige, apologies for the awkward silences. But I try to fill in naman. Sige, familiar daw. Sige, when we hear Hull House, sino ito? Ano lang to guys? Dapat 5 seconds lang eh. Okay, sino siya? She is Jane Addams. Ang full name niya is Laura Jane Addams. She is an American settlement activist, reformer, social worker, sociologist, public administrator, philosopher, and author. She was a leader in the history of social work and women's suffrage. And mostly, nasagot niyo naman. Oh, very good, guys. We're getting there. Next. Ayan. I introduced the concept of symbolic interactionism with meaning making. Sino ito? Who am I? Sino ba ang nag-introduce sa atin ng symbolic interactionism? Guys, keep it coming. Hula-hula lang, guys. When we talk about, ano ba, when we attach symbols, yan. Yan. Individuals create meaning, construct reality, and define their identities through subjective interpretations of social interactions, language, and symbols. Yan. Clue daw. Sirat na to. Wala tayong clue eh. Mm-mm. Sige. May nanguhula naman. But let's reveal the answer. Siya ay si George Herbert Mead. So usually George Mead, no? Individuals create meaning through shared symbols in everyday interaction, developing their self-concept by adapting the perspective of others. It emphasizes micro-level social interaction over large-scale structures. And that's symbolic interactionism. And proponent natin is si Herbert Mead. Yan. Sige, next na tayo. Right. I focus on attachment between child and caregiver. This is the attachment theory. So, sino ang proponent natin dito? Sige guys, hula-hula na. So based on attachment theory, it says that infants particularly, they are biologically driven to form close bonds sa kanilang caregivers kasi they feel that they are secured and safe. No? So yun ang attachment theory. Yan, dinefine na natin. Sige guys. Sagot lang. Ayan, sabi niya Eric Erickson. Sige, good guess. But yeah, we're looking for a different person. Clue is, first name niya is John. Sige, yun ang clue natin. Yan, may nakita na ako. Nakita ko na yung sagot. Si John Bowlby. Attachment theory proposes that infants have an innate evolutionary need to form a close emotional bond with their primary caregiver for safety, survival, and security. So that's John Bowlby. Yan. Next na tayo. Sige. I am known for client-worker relationship and the importance of acceptance in casework. So, sino ako? Ayan. Sino siya? Sino siya? Ito, makikita natin to with our principles. Ayan, nasabi na. Very ano to. Very obvious na siya. Tignan natin kung masasagot nyo. Pero magbibigay ako ng clue. So, ano ba yung inintroduce ng taong ito? Ano? So, mainly, it's the 7 principles. Individualization, purposeful expression of feelings, controlled emotional involvement, and acceptance, non-judgmental attitude, and confidentiality. Yan. Client self-determination. So, sino? Sino yung nag-propose ng principles na ito? That's what we're looking for, or who we are looking for. No? Mary Richmond? No po. Sige. Wala lang. We're looking for the full name. Full name. Yan. May nakikita ko pero first name lang siya tsaka last name lang siya. Kumpletuhin nyo. Yan. Sir Joseph. Ayan. Beef steak daw. Siya nga ba? Siya nga ba? The biggest beef steak. Yan. Sige, yung kompleto. Pero nakukuha na niya ni Sir Joseph. He's there. But, ayan. Tama nga ba? Check natin. Yan. Felix Bistek. Yan. Was one of the most influential contributions to social work practice, especially in casework. His work helped define how social workers should help build professional relationships with their clients. So yan, kaya in-identify natin kanina the 7 principles. Yun yung pinapertain natin. Oh, that's Felix Bistek. Yan. Next na tayo. Yeah. I expanded ego psychology and focused on defense mechanism in everyday life. So, sino siya? Sino siya? Ito may clue, no? Expanded ego psychology. It means na he or she is not the main proponent. Pero in-expand niya. Ayan. Bistek pala. Sige, hindi ko pa nakikita yung sagot. So the clue is the person is associated with Sigmund Freud, but hindi to si Sigmund Freud. No, sino siya? Si Lolo Freud. Hindi siya si Lolo Freud. Sadly. Not Carl Jung? Sige, wala lang. Again 'no, the person is associated, pero hindi ko sasabihin yung relationship. Kasi 'pag sinabi ko, mahulaan niyo na kung sino siya, 'no. So again, may relationship sila, 'no. 'No? No, it's not Carl Jung. Sige, hulaan niyo pa. That's our clue 'no. May link sila 'no with Sigmund Freud kaya this person expanded the ego psychology. Mm, wala pang nakakahula. Sige, full name again, guys, Hmm, Papa Freud. Hindi daw si Papa Freud 'to. Oo. Sige, mahina net ko. Carl Balona daw. Guys, ano na, clue, first name niya is ano, A. Oh, oh yun. Sino yun? Sino siya? Sino siya? Oo. Sino ba yung anak ni Freud? Erik Erikson daw anak ni Freud. Sige, reveal na natin yung answer. Yan, si Anna Freud. Kaya sinasabi ko na may relationship sila with each other kasi anak niya, no? She expanded upon her father Sigmund Freud's work, defining defense mechanism in her 1936 book, The Ego and the Mechanism of Defense, as unconscious, ego-based strategies to manage anxiety, internal conflicts, and external threats. So she is Anna Freud. Yeah. And well done. Congratulations, guys. That ends our, hindi pa, hindi pa. Ano pa lang yan? Uh, Energizer pa lang 'to. Madali lang guys, 'di ba? So yeah, let's start na our session. I hope na-energize kayo at nag-enjoy kayo sa mabilisang natin, mabilisang pop quiz, 'no? Sige, ready naman na guys, ha? Yan. So, let's proceed na with our, main session. Agad-agad. Ayan. Question number 1 agad tayo. Yan. Which component of personality, according to Sigmund Freud, operates on the pleasure principle? A, ego, B, superego, C, id, or D, conscious mind? Uh, Ito, unang-una kasi lagi lumalabas 'to. So let's put it out there na na masagot na natin siya para hindi na tayo magkamali dito, 'no? So we're talking about the components of personality, tatlo lang naman 'yan, that's id, ego, and superego. So alin dun? I can see naman most of you is nasasagot. Let's check kung tama. Ayan. So, 'pag sinabing pleasure principle, 'wag na kayong mawala, that's id. But let's expound this, 'no. When we say id, it's the primitive, 'no, it's the pinaka-basic na bahagi ng personality natin. So, it says na it's a pleasure principle. It means na it will do everything para matupad yung desires. Like siyempre 'pag may gusto tayong pagkain, pleasure, comfort, maybe sometimes hindi ito practical or safe, pero pinipilit natin siyang gawin, 'no. So, halimbawa sinasabi ng id, "Gusto ko 'to, gusto ko ngayon." Hindi mo iniisip ang consequences o reality sa paligid mo basta magustuhan mo or ma-satisfy yung desire mo. That's id. Ego naman, it's the reality principle. This balances your desire in id and yung expectation ng super ego mo, 'no, para makita natin kung ano yung realistic sa mundo natin. So that's the ego or the reality principle. Yan. So when we say super ego naman, it's the moral compass. And it signifies the rules, yan, yung values mo, and your social expectations. So example, halimbawa gusto mo ng magnakaw ng candy, no? That's your id. You wanna steal candy, no? Pero sasabihin ng super ego mo mali. Because according to rules, values, bawal magnakaw. Let's go back when we say conscious mind, it's not the personality structure. Kasi within the 3 lang naman yung hinahanap natin. So conscious mind, it's the part of the mind wherein you are aware, no? Nandun yung thoughts mo, yung feelings mo. No? That's your conscious mind. Meron pa tayong example dito. So your id wants to eat the whole cake. No? In this perspective, yung id mo gusto niyang kainin yung buo na cake. Meron ba sa inyong ganyan na favorite ang cake? Isang buo kakainin natin. For your super ego, it will advise you na wag gawin yun. Kasi nga, once you eat the whole cake, baka magka-diabetes ka or sumakit yung tiyan mo. No? And your ego will compromise by having a small size or slice ng cake. No? That's your ego. Yan. Sige, question number 2 naman. And which stage of Eric Erikson focuses on developing a sense of competence and skills? A. Industry versus inferiority. B. Identity versus role confusion. C. Trust versus mistrust. Or D. Generativity versus stagnation. Sense of competence and skills ang hinahanap natin dito. Sige, keep it coming guys. Please share this live para makahabol yung mga kasamahan natin. Yeah. Ayan, mostly answered A. May D rin. Nag-lag siya, sorry. So answer natin, A, industry versus inferiority. Sige, babawi ako sa inyo. Let's explain them one by one. Ayan, according to the stages of development by Eric Erikson. Saan ba tayong part? That's industry versus inferiority. This is the school age children. No? Industry versus inferiority. Ito ang sagot natin, stage 4. Between 6 to 12. So ang hinahanap natin is the competence. Dito natututo ang mga bata ng iba't ibang skills and ginagawa nila ito sa kanilang bahay. No? Siyempre, natututo tayo, household chores. Sa school, yan, yung mga task sa school. And at this age, kapag naging successful tayo, we will have a sense of competence. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng competence? Masasabi mo sa sarili mo na, okay, kaya ko palang gawin to. No? That's your competence. But kapag hindi ka nakapag-develop ng competence, syempre, when we have nakakaranas tayo ng negative feedback with other people, no? Makakaramdam ka ng inferiority or that sense of feeling wherein you're not capable of doing things. You're inferior with your peers. No? That's industry versus inferiority. No? Kaya yun ang sagot natin. No? Going back with the options, identity versus role confusion, it's adolescence we're in. Hinahanap natin yung sarili natin. Sinusubukan ng tao, particularly you, yan, kung sino siya and ano ba yung gusto natin gawin sa buhay natin. That's identity versus role confusion. When we say trust versus mistrust, ito ay infancy. No? Sa stage natin, nasanggol tayo and we rely to our caregivers. Generativity versus stagnation, it's adulthood. Focus ka na with ano ba yung contribution mo with society and how would you take care of the next generation. That's generativity versus stagnation. Yan. So yan ang sagot natin. If you want, you could take a screenshot with this. Kung medyo hindi pa malinaw sa inyo, or you could try to understand or pag-aralan natin what is all the stages of development based on Eric Erikson. Yan. Sige, proceed tayo. Right. Question number 3. Carol Gilligan's introduced which idea in moral development? A. Moral development is universal. B. Moral reasoning is based on punishment. C. Women follow the same pattern as men. Or D. Moral reasoning may be based on care and relationships. Yan. Sige. Saan ba nakatuon ang ating theory based on Carol Gilligan's? Yan. Sige. Post your answers. Yan, may D, may C. Yan. Okay, when we say the concept, ito yun na, Carol Gilligan's concept in moral development is the ethics of care. When we say ethics of care, in moral development, we are not just looking at the rules or justice. So, rules and justice are not just the base kung ano yung tama or mali. Importante, how things affect people, no? Or the relationships nila, no? With this moral development theory, nakafocus tayo with empathy, yan, concern with others, and responsibility. So, based on these questions, yan, sagot natin, letter D. Moral reasoning may be based on care and relationships. When we say moral development is universal, no, do you agree with that? Same tayo ng pace with one another? Isa lang ba yung moral development ng mga tao? Siyempre hindi. No? So Gilligan challenged the idea na pare-parehas ang moral development ng mga tao. No? It's based on ethics or rules. No? Hindi lang ganon. So when we say moral reasoning is based on punishment, may keywords na sabi niya. Yes. No. This is not what we're pertaining to. Yeah. Women follow the same pattern as men? Naniniwala ba kayo dyan? Of course not. Moral reasoning pattern ng lalaki at babae is magkaiba. Ayan. Sige, sinong nag-agree na same tayo ng pattern? Men have the same pattern as women. So no. That's letter D. Yan. Gilligan's stage of ethics of care. Yan. When we say pre-conventional, our goal is just survival. And then we transition from our selfishness, which is, pag-aalaga sa sarili, and then it will transition to responsibility to others. So meron tayong tinitignan, no, how this affects your relationship. Conventional self-sacrifice is goodness, and then we transition to goodness, truth that she is a person too. Post-conventional principle of non-violence, do not hurt others or self. So meron empathy. When we talk about ethics of care, tandaan lang natin na ang moralidad ay hindi lang tungkol sa rules, kundi it's all about pag-aalaga sa kapwa. No, that is stages of ethics of care. Yeah. Okay, question number 4. Who is most associated with operant conditioning? A. Ivan Pavlov, B. B.F. Skinner, C. Albert Bandura, or D. Carl Rogers? Operant conditioning, guys. Okay, I can see B, may C, may A. Yeah. So cancel out natin. When we talk about Carl Rogers, Carl Rogers is humanistic psychology. It's about self-actualization. Yun yung nakita natin na unconditional positive regard. Yeah. There's empathy. That's Carl Rogers. When we talk about Albert Bandura, it's social learning. It's about observation and imitation ng mga tao. Is it A or B? Yan. So, yeah. When we talk about Ivan Pavlov, it is his classical conditioning. It's a stimulus response pairing. So, yun yung example natin na yung sa aso, no? When a dog hears the bell, no, associated by the food, and maglalawa yung aso because of that response or stimulus. Yan, sagot natin B. B.F. Skinner. Yan. Skinner's operant conditioning and learning behavior is influenced by consequences. When we add pleasant stimulus, ano mangyayari? No? This is positive reinforcement. We increase or maintain a good behavior. No? When we give positive punishment naman, we decrease or weaken the behavior. Yeah. Negative reinforcement, no? Negative reinforcement is what? Remove aversive stimulus. Yeah. Negative punishment, remove pleasant stimulus. Yeah. So good consequence is dapat nire-repeat natin, no? When behavior is good, yan. We like the behavior to be repeated, no? Kapag hindi maganda yung behavior, we associate good consequence and bad consequence, no? Para hindi ulitin. That's basically operant conditioning by B.F. Skinner. Yeah. Question number 5. A client stops smoking after being required to pay a fine every time he smokes. What principle is applied? A. Positive punishment. B. Negative reinforcement. C. Positive reinforcement. Or D. Extinction. Ito, no? Andito pa rin tayo with conditioning. This directly is linked sa ating question number 4. Yeah. May clue tayo dito, guys. And sa mga questions, mag-check kayo ng clues natin. Yan. So, ang clue natin is pay a fine every time he smokes. Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Ano bang ina-avoid natin with this? We want the client to stop smoking. So, para hindi na siya manigarilyo, magbabayad siya every time para mapigilan natin yung behavior na yun. So, what's that? So, answer natin, it's positive punishment. Letter A ang sagot. No? Bakit positive punishment? Like we said, no? Positive punishment happens when we add unpleasant consequence para mabawasan natin yung isang behavior. So, example, kapag nag-i-smoke yung client natin, kailangan niya magbayad ng fine. Fine is considered as penalty. Dahil sa penalty na to, nababawasan yung behavior. We're saying na kung mag-smoke ka, may kapalit na penalty. So, yun ang sagot natin. When we talk about negative reinforcement, we remove an unpleasant situation para palakasin natin yung behavior. And that's negative reinforcement. When we say positive reinforcement, we add a reward. May reward system siya para palakasin mo yung behavior. Extinction naman is we remove the reinforcement para magpatuloy yung behavior. Yan. Sabi ni John Law, tama kasi ako sa unang instinct ko eh. Ayan. Sabi nila with the exam, we have to follow. Kapag di natin alam yung sagot talaga, follow your first instinct. Ayan. So that's positive punishment. Yan. Involves adding an unfavorable outcome or event following an undesirable behavior to reduce its occurrence. An example natin, extra chores. Halimbawa, makulit ka o kaya Mobile Legends ka ng Mobile Legends. Yan. Pag napuno na sa nanay mo, bibigyan ka ng extra chores. Yan. Magdinis ka ng banyo, maglaba ka. Extra homework, extra exercise, reduction in privileges. That's positive punishment. Question number 6. Which of the following is a defining characteristic of paranoid personality disorder? A. Emotional instability. B. Excessive dependency. C. Pervasive distrust and suspicion. And D. Grandiosity. Ito na, personality disorder na tayo. Hmm. What is the defining characteristic of paranoid personality disorder? Ayan, C po, sabi ni Nestor. Ayan, A, may C, may A, may C. Tignan natin. So when we talk about paranoid personality disorder, so ito ang isang disorder wherein um, someone is walang tiwala sa ibang tao. No? So you always have suspicious ideas. No? You're suspicious despite the fact na wala kang evidence. No? That's paranoid. No? Madalas iniisip ng tao na may tinatagong masamang intention ang ibang tao. That's paranoid. Parang laging may iniisip na baka may balak silang masama sa akin. Yan. Ano nga ba yon? Let's see. Pervasive distrust and suspicion. Emotional instability is saan, no? That's the main characteristic of borderline personality disorder. No? Excessive dependency is dependent personality disorder. And kapag grandiosity, ano yan? When you feel na you are very important, and you should always be respected, yan. And you feel na the world is revolving around you. Ano yan? What's that personality disorder? Anyone? Sige. That's narcissistic personality disorder. Yun ang grandiosity. Letter D. And symptoms of paranoid personality disorder, distrust, hypervigilance, or always titignan mo yung ano mo, you think na you're being stalked. Yeah. You're always careful. Yeah. Tingin mo laging may gagawin na masama against you. Reluctance to confide. You don't confide with anyone. You don't share your thoughts. Bearing grudges, anger, and hostility. Question number 7. Which behavior best reflects antisocial personality disorder? A. Fear of abandonment. B. Lack of remorse for harmful actions. C. Excessive emotional expression. Or D. Social withdrawal. Ayan. Sabi ni Sir Bernard. Narcissist. Yes. Kamusta po? Ayan. So, we're in the antisocial personality disorder. So, based on these options, what do you think reflects this kind of disorder? Alin dito? Ayan. So, may D, may B, D po. Ayan. Yan, mostly D. Huh? Let's discuss this. When we talk about antisocial personality disorder or ASPD, the main characteristics of this is when you don't care, you don't have regards towards feelings ng ibang tao or even their rights. No? So, ang pinakamahalagang traits dito is lack of remorse. So, ibig sabihin, kahit makasakit ka ng ibang tao, kahit makagawa ka ng masama sa ibang tao, yan, hindi ka nakakaramdam ng guilt or pagsisisi. So, gusto mo tong bagay na to, gagawin mo regardless kung may masaktan kang ibang tao. That is what? That's letter B, lack of remorse for harmful actions. When we talk about fear of abandonment, that's one of the characteristic of borderline personality disorder. Ayan. That's borderline. no? When we talk about excessive emotional expression, more associated with the histrionic personality disorder. Yeah. And social withdrawal, ito no, when you are more inclined with being yourself, like gusto mo lagi mag-isa, no? You avoid relationships, that's schizoid. Letter D is schizoid. Social withdrawal, it's schizoid personality disorder. Yeah. No? So Carl, what's your answer ba? Natawa ako sa reaction mo eh. Okay. So social withdrawal is mostly associated with schizoid personality disorder. So for this, lack of remorse, you don't care if makasakit ka or makagawa ka ng masama with other people. Yeah. Clinical aspects of antisocial personality disorder. Yan, expects others' admiration, indifferent, deceptive. No? So ito, no, you are self-centered. And your concern is more of your comfort, your desire, and lack of empathy, aggressive, ruthlessness, exploitative, yan. And comorbidities, yan. Substance abuse, addictive behavior, schizophrenia, and major depression. And those are the clinical aspects of antisocial personality disorder. Yan. Question number 8. A leader responsible for widespread violence, manipulation, and disregard for human rights would most likely be associated with A. Paranoid personality disorder, B. Antisocial personality disorder, C. Avoidant personality disorder, or D. Dependent personality disorder. Ito, no, marami na akong clue na nabigay. Yeah. Sana hindi ko pala ni-reveal yung ibang sagot. So, yeah. Kung narinig niyo ako kanina, nag-e-explain, makukuha niyo na 'to. And clue natin, widespread violence, manipulation, disregard for human rights. Saan 'yan? Ah, when someone lacks empathy, yan, manipulate others, they disregard rules, human rights, and exploit other people. Ayan. Wala na pong palitan ng sagot. Ilalagay ko yung sagot nyo. Ayan si Sir Carl, nag-C siya. Ah, nagpalit siya ng sagot. Okay. So example natin, leader responsible with violence and manipulation. What's the pattern in this? Ah, paglabag sa rights ng ibang tao, walang guilt, remorse, ano yan? That's, syempre, it's antisocial personality disorder. Yeah. Ito ay nagpapakita ng traits ng ASPD. Paranoid personality, it's about mistrust, suspicion, avoidant, you umiiwas ka with social situations dahil you fear criticism. No? When we say dependent, no, you umaasa ka sa ibang tao, even their decisions and their support, that's dependent personality disorder. Again, sagot natin, antisocial personality disorder when we talk about lack of empathy, manipulation, disregard for rules, and exploit others. Antisocial personality disorder, disregard for other people's feelings, rights, lack of empathy. Yeah. Question number 9. Extreme poverty is best defined as A. Lack of luxury goods, B. Inability to meet basic survival needs, C. Low income compared to others, or D. Temporary financial hardships. Yes. Yun. Tinatanong ako, oh. C. May ano dapat tayo, may conviction with our answers. Teka. BB, ito, total ano naman tayo, very political, no? So when we say extreme poverty, what does it mean? 'Di ba? So extreme poverty from the word extreme, hindi mo kayang matugunan even the basic, yung pinaka-basic natin. No? Ano ba yung pinaka-basic rights or needs? Una-una, food, yan. Clothing, housing, yan. Healthcare, basic necessities, yan. So extreme poverty, hindi lang pera yung kulang sa'yo. No? Even your survival is very risky or mapanganib. That's B. Yan. Inability to meet basic survival needs. Lack of luxury goods. Yan. Ikaw ba to? Yan. Feeling ko si Miss Queenie, problema niya ngayon, wala siyang Louis Vuitton. She lacks luxury goods. Low income compared to others, ano yan? Anong klaseng poverty ito? When we talk about yung comparison, no, that's relative. And relative to other people. Temporary financial hardship, it's pansamantalang problema natin when it comes with finances. That's the 30. Yeah. With this, even your basic survival needs, di mo siya ma-afford. That's extreme poverty. Absolute poverty is when people do not have enough money or resources to meet their basic human needs, such as lacking food, shelter, and water. Extreme poverty and absolute poverty, yan, very synonymous with one another. Relative poverty, when people don't have enough money or resources to live up to normal standards. Living below the median income. That's relative. Yan. Yung mga nakamaleta po, yung letter A, ayan si Miss Queenie. I can feel her energy, parang siya yon. So problema niya, anong bansa pa kaya yung pupuntahan ko? So tapos na siya with Thailand, with Taiwan. So next na niya is South Korea. Yeah. Okay. So that's absolute poverty over relative poverty. Question number 10. Children in extremely poor communities often experience malnutrition and a lack of schooling. This primarily affects A. Cultural identity, B. Political participation, C. Human development, or D. Religious beliefs. Yeah. So, when we talk about malnutrition and lack of schooling, where is that directed? C po. Sure na ba? Are you sure? Let's see, no? Malnutrition, lack of education, that is directly affecting what? Siyempre, human development. No? When we talk about human development, it encompasses physical development, cognitive development, yan, social development. Yan, lahat yan bahagi ng human development. Lack of food, lack of education, nahihirapan yung mga bata maging healthy, nahihirapan silang matuto, and nahihirapan silang mag-develop ng maayos. Human development. When we talk about cultural identity, saan ba tayo? Hindi ito pangunahing epekto ng malnutrition, lack of schooling. Yeah. So, religious beliefs not directly affecting poverty. Yeah. That's letter C. Human development refers to physical, cognitive, psychosocial development of humans throughout the lifespan. And 3 domains: physical development, yung growth, changes in the body, the brain, senses, health, wellness. When we say cognitive development, it's about your learning, attention, memory, language, thinking, reasoning, and creativity. Kapag naman psychosocial development, it's about your emotions, your personality, and your social relationships. Yeah. Question number 11. Which concept reflects shared identity and concern for others in Filipino culture? A. Hiya. B. Bahala na. C. Pakikipagkapwa. Or D. Utang na loob. Sige lang guys. Keep it coming. Mhm. Ito, we're talking about Filipino personality. Yeah. Saan nakapaloob ito? Huh? It's about shared concern, shared identity. Yeah. Yan. C po, D. Yan. Sige, tama nga ba kayo? Oh. So with this, we talk about pagkilala sa ibang tao, pakikipag-ugnayan. No? When we interact with others, we have to have empathy and respect. No? In Filipino culture, mahalaga ang community, care, and relational identity. Hindi lang para sa iyong sarili, kundi for the group. No? So that's C, pakikipagkapwa. So most of you answered naman. No? So when we say pakikipagkapwa, you mean hindi lang ako ang mahalaga, kundi kapwa ko rin. So dapat ganyan tayo as Filipinos. We have concern for everybody. Hindi lang pang sariling kapakanan natin. Hiya is sense of shame, embarrassment. Ang bahala na the fatalistic attitude kung saan namamag-asa tayo with fate. No? Bahala na. Bahala na si Batman. Utang na loob. Ito, no? Marami ba sa atin, marami utang na loob. Yan, sa kamag-anak, sa kaibigan. Utang na loob, mahirap bayaran. It's not easy to pay. Hindi lang siya monetary eh. It's loob. Diba? Reciprocity, obligation to return favors. It's not necessarily shared identity. That's question number 11, letter C. Ang kapwa, shared self, opens up heart doors of the I to include the other, bridges the deepest individual recess of a person with anyone outside him or even herself, even total strangers. Enriquez declared the concept as a Filipino core value. That's kapwa, pakikipagkapwa. Question number 11 or 12. Social change refers to A. Changes in individual behavior, B. Transformation of social institutions and structures, C. Personal growth, or D. Temporary social threats. Yan. Pag sinabi nating social change, ano nangyayari? What's happening in the Philippines? Clue natin dito, social. So, malawakan ito, malaliman. When we say change, pagbabago. Yun pala alam na natin. Kung ano yung sagot. Yan, B, 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 B daw. Sana all. Yan, B, A. May A din. Interesting. We have C as well. Okay. So, anong sagot natin? But when we talk about social change, like I said, malalim siya, malawakan, change to the society, particularly to the institutions, yung polisiya natin, even the social structures. No? Um, Parang sabihin natin na hindi lang basta nagbabago ang tao. No? Hindi naman ganun kadali. It's not the people, no, na nagbabago lang. No? Nagbabago yung system ng society. The schools, government, laws change, even the culture change. Huh? Essence natin with social change, this is system-wide impact, not just individual. So that's transformation of social institutions and structures. Yeah. So answer natin letter B. And changes in the individual, personal growth, temporary social trends. That's more of individual yan, no? Pansarili. Short-term trends and fashions are not structural. When we say something is structural, it's long-lasting. Yeah. Kapag temporary ang isang social trends, yeah, panandalian lang siya. No? Ano bang social trend natin ngayon? Hmm, hawak mo ang beat. I don't know if that's a social trend. I guess so. No? Hawak mo ang beat, hawak mo ang beat. Yan. There was a time na uso yung tala no ni Sarah Geronimo. Yan. Those things they're just social trends no na temporary. Yan. So ang tinatanong natin dito is transformation of the structure itself, the institutions itself. Yeah. How does social change happen? Actions taken by a large number and variety of individuals. And pangmaramihan ito. No? Collective organization within social networks. Roles undertaken by individuals. Level of inclusion in a social movement. There's a recruitment. Gatekeeping. Specialized groups, systems enacting different types of changes. Local context in which change happens. And nag-iiba yung political climate, even the location. Yan. So, that's social change. Question number 13. A social worker campaigns for policy reform to address gender inequality. What role is demonstrated? A. Counselor. B. Educator. C. Broker. Or D. Advocate. Anong role natin? Hmm. Sige lang guys. Ano sagot natin dito? Campaigns. Yeah. Yan ang major clue natin. When we campaign, when we want change, systemic, hindi lang individual, we push for policies, we push for laws, we push for reforms na we know na makakatulong for a group or the community. Ano yan? What's that kind of role? Yan. Di po ho. Okay. So, mostly answer D. No? Again, um, campaign, no? When we campaign for gender equality, yeah, that's an advocate role. So, you advocate. Hindi lang basta tumutulong sa isa, you're fighting for the rights of people. When we say counselor, this is mostly individual therapy guidance. An educator, you provide information, you teach. You're not pushing for a systemic change. When you're a broker, you link clients for resources and services. You're not fighting against a specific policy. No? That's advocate role of social work. What social workers do? Social workers can take certain legally protected actions with the social worker-client dynamic. Ano yan? Protect client confidentiality, offer services they are qualified to provide, terminate services under certain circumstances, practice self-care, and tandaan natin, and engage in political action. Yeah, so we have a voice, no? So if it's deemed necessary, we do these things. Question number 14. The feminist perspective in social work emphasizes A. Biological differences, B. Gender neutrality or neutrality, C. Power relations and inequality, or D. Individual pathology. So may mga nagko-clue words dito na from the word campaign daw. I think this is the question number 13 na. Sige guys. C, may B, another B. Feminist perspective guys ah. So when we talk about feminist perspective, we're talking about oppression. No? Oppression, structural inequality, lalo na when it comes with gender. We don't just see issues. We check the power, structure, social structure na nagdudulot ng inequality within our society. So, the essence of feminist approach in social work is to analyze and challenge systematic barriers and unfair treatment. That's within C, power relations and inequality. When we talk about biological differences, this is just the biology, no? Hindi siya tumutuon with social structures. Gender neutrality naman, when you're neutral, what do you mean by that, no? So kapag neutral ka, umiiwas ka. No? Umiiwas ka with inequalities, but that is not the core of feminist perspective. Individual pathology, it's clinical, individual level issues. No? Ang pinag-uusapan natin is social oppression, which is not an individual pathology. Yeah. So that's letter C, power relations and inequality. Feminist approach in social work is based on the assumption that problems of clients are within our societal structure, which is patriarchal and oppressive to women, whereby women become less equal. Ang goal natin is to create a society that is equal for both men and women. It's the feminist approach in social work. Question number 15. A social worker focuses on unconscious conflicts, early childhood experiences, and defense mechanisms. Which theory is being applied? A. Psychoanalytic theory, B. Behavioral theory, C. Feminist theory, or D. Systems theory? Sagot, guys. Ayan. A daw. Are you sure? Ay, we have message here. Hello, Sir Andre Manalo. Good evening. Makamiyaw ang imohong live. Sorry if I mispronounced that. During my self-review era, Asobas Osa ko sport passer sa SWLE 2025. One take. Salamat sa imong mga free videos, more knowledge gained during actual board exam. And God bless po for sharing your knowledge and expertise. Keep safe always. Ako naman. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for a very kind-hearted message. And you will serve as an inspiration, not just to me, but to us who's watching this live. Thank you so much po. And congratulations. Hoping makita ka sa field, no? And if you see me, just say hi. Ayan. Pwedeng sumagot, sir. Sige, ano sagot? Sir Davy. Yan. May B, may A, may B din. Tingnan natin. Unconscious early childhood experiences. So, saan yan? We're talking about influences, no? Influences with the past experiences, hidden conflicts within our unconscious. This is Sigmund Freud, which is what? Letter A, psychoanalytic theory by Sigmund Freud. It's about unconscious mind, early childhood experiences, defense mechanisms. When we say behavioral theory, this is the observable behavior in learning through reinforcement and punishment. Yan. Napag-aralan natin kanina yan. Feminist theory is about gender inequality and power structures. Systems is interactions within the family, the community, social systems. and not just focusing on unconscious behaviors. That's psychoanalytic theory. Yeah. Levels, conscious, it's a mental processes of which we are aware. Preconscious, it's um, conscious information of which we are not consciously aware, but can be accessed and pulled into consciousness. And when we say unconscious, it's repressed thoughts and feelings that cannot be directly processed or accessed. We have id, ego, and superego na I know is alam na alam nyo na and na-discuss na rin natin. Yeah. Alright, that ends our 15-minute item. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here sa ating live. But ilan ba yung score nyo? Sige. Can you post your scores on our chat box? I mean, naka-perfect ba? Sige. Anong scores natin? Madali lang ba for you? Medyo basic lang? Since this is just our episode 1, nakikita naman natin episode 1 pa lang tayo. No? So, hopefully in the next episode is mas lalong mag-increase ang ating difficulty as well as mas maraming learnings, di ba? Syempre. No? But before I let you go, I invite all of you to connect to our social media platforms. Ayan. We have here, ito, no, yung ating Facebook page, which is the AM Corner Social Work Learning Series. Ayan. Paki-like na rin yan and follow. We also have our TikTok page, the AM Corner, kung saan we post snippets, no? Very short videos. And our YouTube, which is the AM Corner. Dito natin ipopost lahat ng videos natin. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And if you want to access exclusive videos, you could join our channel. And we have tiers, no, that you can choose. Now you can access basic. You can have the exclusive videos and with final coaching videos. Ma-access nyo na yung ating previous and upcoming videos. Yan, check nyo na lang yung YouTube natin, and I have tutorial for you para alam natin. So yeah. And that brings us to the end of our today's review. And if this video helped you understand these social work concepts, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss our next learning session. Yan, umpisa pa lang tayo guys. Kung nag-enjoy kayo at gusto nyo pa, no, ng content natin, please like, share na natin ang ating Facebook page, TikTok page, and our YouTube page. And here on the AM Corner, our goal is simple: to make our learning easier. Yan. Gusto ko rin mag-enjoy kayo. Much more clearer, much more meaningful, and whether you're reviewing for exams, preparing for your career, and just expanding your knowledge. And if you would like more practice questions and explanations just like this, feel free to drop your suggestions in the comments below. Kung meron kayong suggestions with contents, ano bang subject matter na gusto nyo i-discuss natin, I'd love to include that to our next videos. And please comment. Yan, comment natin sa chat box. RSW this 2026. And Top Notcher this 2026. Yan, future registered social workers. Once again, this is the AM Corner, where we start our days right and our futures bright. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in our next video.